Good afternoon. I'm Michelle, the CEO and co-founder, and this is my co-founder and CTO. Today, we're pleased to announce the launch of PortfolioQuest, which will make the financial industry a more fabulous version of itself. They always say, if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. How many of you are using a Fitbit so that you can become more fabulous? I'd say it's working for me. Back to a banking or lending operation, we measure and monitor just about every KPI for every product and process, except for one key input: the people. When we look at a lending organization, we need to upskill, promote, transform, especially in this day and age with all the new technology. Having a human capital dashboard is something that's of immense value. How are we going to do that at BankersLab? Step one, we have 4 years under our belt of addictive, gamified, complex virtual lending world simulation training. Step two, based on the player data and outcomes, we can provide actionable insights and a dashboard for the leader of that lending operation or whatever stakeholders you might have. You'll be able to quickly detect the gaps, the failure points, and the rock stars in your organization and take action to transform it. Kurt, let's take a look at the demo. Now today, we're going to show you a family and friends version of the demo, which will become a more fabulous version of itself soon. But we wanted to show you the functionality and how this actually works. Kurt's playing this as a bank employee called John, and he's going to be playing the collections management module. And notice the countdown at the bottom. He's got to play this simulation as much as he can until the certification round coming up. So he's going to be able to manage a virtual lending portfolio, which is, go ahead. Which this is a personal loan portfolio. He's going to have a pop quiz first because I'm already capturing diagnostics about him. In addition to his gameplay and how well he can manage this portfolio, I'm going to capture how well he actually has factual knowledge along the way. Here, he's going to decide how aggressively he wants to lend in this portfolio. By the way, he's already losing money. So should he pull back lending? Should he try to be more aggressive and outrun it? Or should he panic and just shut down lending? Now he's looking at the results. Still not doing great, still losing money. If he still continues to struggle, a digital coach will step in and give him some hints and tell him what to do. Things will keep getting more complicated. He's got more decisions there at the bottom. But let's jump to quarter 8, which is the end of the outcome period for this particular simulation module. And when he goes into the results, he's given yet another pop quiz to keep checking on his knowledge because, as we know, people learn in bite-sized chunks, and we can test that very well. He's going to go to his results, and at the top, you'll see he made $2.3 million at the end of the period. Let the trash talk begin. For 4 years, we've been doing this in workshops, and you can imagine that things get pretty lively. And once this is up on a leaderboard, well, we all know how that's going to go. But to me, the important thing to look at is, yeah, he made money, and I can see who else made more money than him, but look at that. His ability to manage risk appetite and recovery, the parts of that donut in green, are very strong. That's helpful to know about him as an employee. Strategy, okay. Forecasting skills, not ideal. Now, from John's 360 peer review, I happen to know that he's a really well-liked guy. But if he can't forecast out of a wet paper sack, we have an issue. I can take action, and we're going to sort it out. So, what does John's boss think of this? Well, we're going to go and look at the dashboard that's available to the C-suite, the head of the bank, whether it be HR or the head of a FinTech lender or the VC who's just invested in the FinTech lender. We want to go and look at this. We're the boss now, who is Sita. And Sita's got 3 teams she's managing in Hong Kong, India, and Brazil. So she wants to keep an eye on them. Well, what this is telling her is Brazil, they're tanking. Don't know why. We're going to find out. Let's zoom into that, Kurt. So Sita's like, what's going on in Brazil? The first thing she sees from this diagnostic is they're just not spending time working with the simulation to learn the forecasting and strategy skills that are necessary for their jobs, especially in the new age of FinTech. So we can zoom in even further at the employee level. So in the future, there'll be cool gas gauges and visual reporting and all that. But for now, we have simple red check mark, finished it, didn't do great. Green check mark, finished it, did really well. Highlight yellow, struggling, didn't even start. So let's drill into one last employee. We got Elizabeth Black down here. You see she's got some mixed results. What this tells us in the result is that her factual knowledge is really strong. She understands the course concepts, but she needs more practice applying her knowledge, and that's where she's struggling. So we can step in and help her with that. But now we have a human capital dashboard to really tell us what's going on in the organization and how to transform it. In conclusion, in FinTech, we've seen fantastic innovation in the industry in terms of process and product. But what about the people? As we transform organizations, we change the way we do things, we get rid of that manual work, who's left? Who's left are the people who need to have strategic skill sets, forecasting abilities, anticipation abilities. And what we bring is skill accountability, benchmarking solutions, the ability to monitor and manage that. So here's what we need from you. Calls to action. Number one, if you're a bank or FinTech lender, come to our booth, get into our beta, get on the product waiting list. Number two, if you're an investor, please join our seed round because together, we're going to make that UI you just saw a much more fabulous version of itself. And finally, for everyone, help us raise the visibility of the issue that we still need to make the industry more fabulous version of itself. Thank you.